live. Hello. Oh, look at that.
Whoa, perfect timing.
Impressive. That's very impressive.
I don't know how I've just done this.
You just love us so much you couldn't wait to get on.
I'm literally running. I've got my trainer socks on.
For anybody who doesn't know what we're laughing at, Naomi's been on the motorway. She didn't think she'd make it, and she has. She's made it. It's like, how?
And can I tell you the funniest thing? I didn't realise we'd gone live.
Well, Rochelle came in and I just went, right, we're going live. I was like, let's
She didn't give me any time to tell her how I was or anything.
No, I was because
I'm absolutely dying.
Are you okay? Have you been to the restroom? Have you had water?
Well, shall I maybe do a bit of an overshare, seeing as we like to be really honest and open here?
Let's do it.
Okay, today has been one of those days.
Oh,
I won't do all of it because otherwise it'll be a 45-minute session on my day. But I took the wrong not even the wrong junction, the wrong motorway. No. The fog was so bad this morning that I couldn't actually see the signs until I was underneath it. So I took the M6 instead of the M42, which cost me 45 minutes on top of the journey I had. I'd been to the toilet like a good 50-year-old girl before I left. But as you all know, I am very on the ball with my well-being and health. So I drank my 2 litres of electrolytes in the car like I usually do. And then guess what? There were accident after accident after accident because of the fog. And I could not get to a service station until an hour ago. And I was literally in the car. I can now imagine what it might be like to be in labour and not be able to get to a hospital. I was gripping the steering wheel, literally, like not even a sign for a service station.
Oh, I'd have just wet myself. I haven't got time for that nonsense. You know,
but I think the woman at Pret at the service station, after I'd been to the toilet, I thought, why not just get some more fluid inside? That's exactly what I need to do. And she said, this one's on us today.
Bless her.
And I thought, she knows what I've just been through.
Right? Like, yeah, I haven't got time. My bladder has not got. I mean, I'm not saying that I do it myself, but I like. I you know.
I'm not saying I
do, but I do.
Yeah, but I don't have time for it. I don't have time. Like that pressure on my bladder at this age, I'm not doing it.
I can still hold it.
All right.
Well, I clearly managed to hold it for about 3 hours.
Yeah, I've not got to that stage yet. Unless I'm on a trampoline, that's a different story.
Oh, really? See, that's youth talking. Saying I can still hold it, and that's impressive.
That is from having babies.
Oh, Kevin says I'm off to game. Go enjoy your gaming,
what?
Kevin. He's gone off to game. You know, like he's a gamer.
Oh,
yeah. Just left a message for us. Told us to have a beautiful day.
Oh, that's very nice. Why do I never see the comment? Oh, I know why. Because I'm always, for some reason, it defaults to the private chat.
I've now made sure that it comes onto the comments. But Kevin came onto Instagram, so I'm battling back and forth. You see, so yeah, so he came on Instagram and says I'm off to play games. Well, there you go. How are you, Rochelle? I know that Rochelle's had a day as well, which is why I wouldn't let her speak because I was like, this will.
I haven't had too much of a day, but
how was yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I lost access to my LinkedIn account, and I'm always telling people to be careful on LinkedIn because they're really mean and they put you in LinkedIn jail for very little. And I've been using LinkedIn like religiously for the last 6 years, and this is the first time that I've been kicked out of my account, and it's only until I think I've got another 3 hours and then I can log back in. But I've been using, so I've got my new VA who's based in the Philippines, and she's been sending messages and connecting with people on there for me. And I think she said she was using a VPN, but I think she might have forgotten, and it's picked up that activities happening. It thinks I've been using automation, which we haven't. But I've got 24,000 followers on there. Like, it's where I get all my business for the property business. I've got on there, connect with me on LinkedIn. You might connect with me, and I can't even see it right now. But I'm going to be really careful, because so I've told I'm not getting, the VA's not doing any more stuff with my LinkedIn. I'm just going to keep it for myself, because I can't risk.
Yeah,
I think it's to do with VPNs, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
Overseas VPNs.
Yeah, especially from the Philippines and from Africa, they get very testy for security purposes, which is understandable. But as soon as Rochelle told me yesterday, I was like, yeah, you've got your VAs are from the Philippines. They're quite funny about that.
Yeah, because I've had other people log in before. Like, I've got my VA who lives in Leicester. She's been on there. She's done things for me. That's not been a problem.
Hi, Melissa.
She's done some stuff for me. That's never been a problem. This is the first time I've ever had any sort of warning or anything, and I think it's based on the fact that she is in the Philippines. So it's frustrating, but that's it. I'll get back in. I'll behave. I'll be good.
LinkedIn, be careful. If you've got LinkedIn,
I'm always telling people, I'm like, don't, because people will be like, oh, it let me connect with 30 people in a day, and I'm like, just be careful, because it will kick you out. It will, and it'll shadow ban you and all sorts of stuff. And when you work really hard to build something up, the last thing you want to do is lose it. But then now I'm going even more. Everyone's always saying how important your email list is, and this is why, because you need that data outside of the platforms.
And it's so funny, because like, it's one of the reasons why, no matter whether my email lists are responding or not and stuff, I'll always keep on nurturing them, because that's all you've got, really. That's all you've got. You're as good as your email list.
I've got my event next week, which is the thing that I've been promoting, my property event in London. So we've been messaging people, we've been inviting them to the event on LinkedIn, and then following up to make sure they've got the ticket. And I could really do with my LinkedIn right now to get those additional people there on Tuesday.
It'll be there. Everything will be fine.
What is like you just said, the universe is always, like this morning, I was like, what's the universe doing and guiding me to that it's taken me on the wrong path, the wrong part of the motorway? So even if, like you said, the one thing that's come out of it is the importance of email list, what's the message here?
If nothing else, you got content out of it. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's it. And I was like, well, I'm going to write on Facebook about it, and people are going to interact with it, which means
there you go.
I'll add a little bit about my event at the end so that people can see it.
Yes.
You wait till you see my post tonight.
Yeah. Naomi, are you coming to Rochelle's event?
What event?
Oh, Naomi, do you not even follow me? I have a property event next week, Tuesday, in London.
I would love to be there, but guess what?
You're another event.
Say again?
You're another event.
No, I am on a self-enforced travel and event ban for the rest of the year.
Oh,
I like that.
I have made a conscious decision. Yesterday was my last in-person event for the year.
I saw you left it a bit late. You've been to quite a few. I saw your list.
Just a few.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Yeah, no more traveling for me for the rest. I've got to go into London next Friday, but that's it for this year now. I am done with socializing, with events, but next year, Rochelle, I would love to come to one of your events.
It's my first in-person event, but it's not going to be my last.
There you go.
And that's why we're having it. But whilst we're here, hello, everybody. I can see people coming on. We've had 22 people being on, then we've had people leave, then we've had people come on, then we've had people leave. But hello. We always love seeing messages from you. So hi, Melina. And God bless you too. God bless you too. What was I going to say? Oh, Yusuf, we've got Yusuf here. Hello, Yusuf. Hope you're well. So it's Christmas. For those that celebrate Christmas, do you celebrate Christmas?
Rochelle, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I celebrate Christmas. So we put our Christmas tree up on Monday. I was going to put it up the weekend before because I was away over this weekend, but just been too busy. I always wait until after my birthday. So my birthday is 20th of November. And then it feels like, right, now we're in Christmas. We put a Christmas film on while we do it. So this year we're watching Christmas Chronicles. I just seen on a memory from last year, we watched Home Alone while we were putting it on last year. Yusuf says he's 7 years old.
I'm a baby. I am 7 years old. If you're 7 years old, Yusuf, you're not allowed to be on here.
Yeah, so we all pitch in. Although Joshua was like, you could have done it while I was at school because Maisie had a teacher training day on Monday. And he was like, I wouldn't have been bothered if you'd have done it at school. I don't even want to help anyway. And he laid on the settee, complained about the film we were watching. He's like, I've seen it a million times. I know what happens. And then glued himself to the telly. And then when Maisie was like, oh, it's time to put the angel on top of the tree, and he was like, I want to do it. He's like, yeah, I've not done anything. Maisie's done everything.
That child is a drama queen.
He is drama queen. And then the funny thing was, we had the elves visited for the first time on Monday morning. I wasn't sure whether they were going to come because Joshua is now 9, Maisie's 11, and she's at secondary school. But they still made a show because Joshua was very excited about it on Sunday evening, so they had to come. Left them an advent calendar and a little gift. And then Tuesday morning, they'd taken the angel off the top of the tree. One of the elves was attached to the top of the tree, and then the other elf had the angel on top of its head. And they thought it was hilarious. So they're happy.
You guys have got too much time on your hands.
What do you mean, Victoria?
You've got too much
the
time.
Elves are frustrating. They make a mess. They cause chaos.
If I was a mum, I'd be arrested every single day because like they wouldn't know what to do with me because I'd just be like, here you go, that's your elf, do what you want with it. Like I haven't got the patience, all that moving about, and I haven't got it. Naomi, how's your Christmas looking?
Well, when you asked the question, what did you say? Do you celebrate Christmas? I think my short answer is no, not anymore.
Okay. What? Why? May we ask?
You may ask. And it's funny because on the journey today, I had a little bit of a cry. Oh. And this time of year, obviously, is a time of, for a lot of us, reflection and things that come up. And I was thinking back to the first Christmas after my mum died. And, I was a teenager. It was a really, really tough time. And my dad had a new partner the first Christmas after my mum had died. And I was forced to celebrate Christmas in a way that felt so uncomfortable, with so much trauma and grief and loss and pain. And because I was the good little girl, I did exactly what I was told. And I did that for 31 years. I've done what everybody else wanted of me.
Ouch.
13 years ago, 2013, I started volunteering at Christmas, which some people might say, well, that's celebrating Christmas because and it is, but in a very, very different way.
Yeah.
I will be volunteering again this year. So this will be my 12th year in a row volunteering. My dad has volunteered with me over the last few years. However, this year I've gone one step further. I have organized that my sisters spend Christmas with my dad, and I am having my first Christmas where I am not responsible for anybody else's happiness, care, lunch. I will be volunteering, and then I will come home and I will have a bath and I will put my pajamas on and I will read a book and I will do what I care to do myself.
Oh, it sounds like bliss.
And I don't think a Christmas tree will be going up this year. I haven't even though I have beautiful decorations. And I looked at the box the other day and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I may not put any decorations up. It does not bother me, interest me.
Yeah.
In the least anymore.
That's so funny. You see, to me, it sounds really awful. As a Christian, I celebrate Christmas as in I will go to church. So if there is a I'll do Christmas Eve service. I'll never do Christmas Day. I always say to the vicar, I did not kill Jesus. I ain't coming on Christmas Day. But I will do Christmas Eve. I'll do Christmas Eve and stuff. But yeah, so I'll do Christmas. Same as New Year's Eve. I'm like, I'll do New Year's Eve. I ain't doing New Year's Day. It's not happening. Anyway, but yeah, so I'll do that. I have not put up a Christmas tree, I would say, in about 2006, so almost 20 years. Wow. I haven't done a Christmas tree. I did a Christmas tree for 2 years. So I used to live in Holland, and when I moved back from Holland, so I was in Holland for 2 years, and when I moved back from Holland and stuff, I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to put a Christmas tree up and stuff. And I got a black Christmas tree. It was gorgeous, and 6-foot black Christmas tree. I loved it. But then I was like, but I live on my own, and I don't see the point of putting a Christmas tree up for myself and then putting it back down again for myself when, you know, most of the time I'm very time poor anyway. So I'm like, why am I doing it? And then over lockdown, and I've done it before, but during lockdown, I spent Christmas on my own. It wasn't the first time I spent Christmas on my own. And I've done that for about 6 years. I've spent Christmas on my own, and I love it. My favorite time of the year is around the 23rd when I close my door. And other than Christmas Eve, I know I don't need to get out of my house. It's bliss. And I will stay like that in my home until around the 27th. I just think it is blissful. I don't need to, there's no human beings around, which is really funny because I'm so sociable, right? But it's like, it's just, and like you say, you know, it's like if you want to put the food on, you put the food on. You don't want to put it on, you don't put it on. It's just a whole thing. But this year, my sister has said, we're going to do a family Christmas where myself, my brother, my sister has 4 children, so just her and her husband and children. There's 6 of them already. And then her in-laws, basically there's about 17 of us. God help me. Yeah, there's going to be about 17, and it's camping style. So I was saying to Rochelle, I was like, I might just get the hotel down the road and stuff. But yeah.
Hold on, you mean like real camping style?
No, but it's in a house, but it's a 4-bedroom house, but there's 17 people. So it's just,
so you've got to like sleep on floors and sofas and air beds.
Yeah, but you know what though? But you know what? We all have a good time together. Yeah, and it's good. It'll just, there'll be loads of food and loads of drink. Yeah, loads of banter, and I can do that for a couple of days and what have you. So I'm preparing myself to say, don't look for your computer for a couple of days. Don't look for, you know what I mean? Like, don't do content, just take time just to step out and everything else. But that is my Christmas.
No.
Should we wrap up? That's it now.
I've not finished mine. I only told you the first 2 days of December.
I have a feeling that Rochelle is almost like Christmas, like I can imagine it's just like Christmas everywhere. I've got that feeling with you.
So I'm not like, I love having my Christmas tree up, and I do think even if it was just me in the house, like I love the coziness. I love having the lights on. I love watching Christmas films. Like, Christmas Chronicles. Christmas Chronicles 2 are just amazing. Like, films. Have you seen them?
I think I've seen Chronicles. Is that the one with Goldie Hawn's husband?
Yeah.
Goldie
Hawn's, and she's in the second one. I can't remember if she's in the first one. They're amazing. Definitely. Kurt Russell. Definitely worth watching. But yeah, so for Christmas, I never know how many people are coming to my house for Christmas dinner. So it could, and to be fair, it's like this most Sundays. There could be 9 of us, or there could be 22 of us, and it could be anywhere in the middle. And getting my family to commit is difficult. Like my dad will say he's coming right up until 2 o'clock when dinner's nearly ready, and then he'll go, oh, I'm not feeling very well today, so I'm not going to come. And then if he doesn't come, that then has a snowball effect of, oh, then one of my brothers won't come, and then like somebody else won't be able to come, and his partner, and it just has that knock-on effect of how many people are actually coming. Some people just turn up and haven't told me they're coming. But I actually love it. I'm like,
is that the black side of your family or the white side of your family?
It is the black side of the family.
Yeah. There's that black man time and stuff. It's like it's just like
I've also stopped saying I'm doing it for a set time, because like Sunday dinner, so the other week I said, right, 2:00 is what time I'm cooking for, and then my dad and one of my brothers turned up at about 3:30. One of my brothers didn't come at all, then the other brother turned up at about 4:30. So I just like warmed it up in the we ate at 2, and then everyone else just had theirs warmed up as they arrived. But my nana always used to do it like that. So when she was alive, she lived in a 2-bed terraced house. It had a small kitchen and then an open plan living dining room, and it was very much the same. Some weeks a couple of people had turned up, and other weeks 20 people had turned up. So I've got she had 7 kids, and then there's about 30 cousins, and then all the cousins started to have babies before she passed away. So she met Joshua was 2 when she passed away, so she'd met Maisie and Joshua and had lots of other great grandkids as well. So it was great, because it was the only time you knew that you'd see some of your cousins there, you just weren't sure which ones. And she was just like, she was never certain how many people were going to turn up, so she always had some frozen Yorkshire puddings and frozen veg, and she did rice and just like things to bulk out the meal. And I've sort of taken on that honorary role, but my cousins are not invited because that would be too. There's already 22 of us if everybody turns up. I'm one of 7 now, and there's only the 7 nieces and nephews. So and with my auntie and my mom and my dad, it's like and everybody's partners. Everyone, like, there's only 2 of them that are single now, so everyone's got their own partners, so it adds up quickly. But it's good fun. Like, I love being around family. I love having a job. So me and Danny Wallace were talking about this the other day. It was which is funny, because she's similar to me in that we like to be the cook and the host, because that gives us something to do. Like, I don't want to be just sat there, like just sat talking, and like I get bored basically. I need something to do, so I'm happy to cook for everyone. I don't particularly like people helping me. I just like to crack on with it myself, and everyone else can have a good time chatting and drinking, and I'm there in the kitchen.
Naomi, how many of there are you? 3
siblings?
Yeah,
just me and my sister.
Just you and your sister. Yeah, you see, you haven't got a clue what we're talking about when we start talking about.
And to be honest with you, we've spent one Christmas together in 31 years.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Do you get on? Okay, so that's another.
Whereabouts is it being published?
All over the world.
Right, let's just say that I have been the default daughter for 31 years. I'm the sponge of the family that mops everything up and has done the dutiful thing. And not everybody wants to do that. And so I have accepted that I am different and that I choose. But also this year I've decided that I also get to choose, that I don't have to do things out of duty.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, you talking about like having 20 people around to your house, and I'm there going, like, literally my nervous system, when you say that, I'm feeling like, but here's the irony, I'll volunteer and serve 200 people lunch on Christmas Day, and talk to them all and make their day as great and as bright as I possibly can. But I do not want anybody in my home.
But you know what though, it's very different. So normally when I spend Christmas on my own, every 23rd of December in London, I will volunteer. I do Basket Brigade, which is part of Tony Robbins' initiative. So I'll always go and I'll always deliver. That's my favorite bit. I can't be bothered sat there putting potatoes in the bag and stuff. I'm like, get everything ready, give me the hampers, I'll go as far as you want me to go, and I'll go and deliver these to these unsuspecting families. I think it's very different when you feel obliged to do something. And so I'm an amazing cook, and I love to cook. I pretty much cook for myself every single day. As soon as somebody else comes into the mix and they expect it,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. And I think that's what it is really. And so it's like, and I also get it with the dynamic in families as well, because not so there's 6 of us, that everybody pretty much has a role. So I'm the person that my mum will call. So she called me 2 nights ago when she couldn't sleep, when she wasn't well. I'm the person she'll call when she's, mainly because she knows that I can do the healing for her and get her better. But overall, she will. I'm the person who calls my mum in the morning. So I call my mum first thing in the morning, 7 o'clock. Then I'll call her sometimes around midday. Then I'll call her again in the evening before she goes to bed. I'm that person that does that. I've got other siblings that don't do that, but they'll call her every other times and stuff. But my mum also finds that she can talk to us about different things.
Yeah.
So it kind of eases it and stuff. Do I feel like sometimes a lot comes towards me? Yes. But also one of my other sisters as well takes a lot of that brunt as well. So I just think I think people are different. And I made a decision a number of years ago to stop getting angry at, especially my brother, like getting angry at my brother, like, why aren't you calling? Why don't you speak? Why aren't you doing this? I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And I said this to a sibling of mine when my dad was still alive. I said, they're not just my parents. One day they're gonna go, and that day when they go, it will be our parents that have gone. It won't be just my parent. And you know what? The day my dad died, and when we went to bury my dad, I buried my dad knowing that there was nothing left unsaid. Yeah. And to me, that was the greatest honor that I could ever have, because I was like, as I put you in this ground, I know that I will never walk away from here and go, God, I wish I'd said, like, it was done, it was dusted. Like I did everything I could for him up until his dying moment. And I was like, and that's what you get when you decide not to be present, and when you make those choices, is that you choose the possibility of huge regret. And I didn't want that. So, but everybody's different, and maybe not everybody feels regret. I don't know. So I stopped getting angry, and in a way, my siblings, and I promise you, my siblings have a huge input in my mom's life. But I think everybody has just carved out their role within their life. So like, I have one sibling who just talks politics with my mom, and my mom finds that entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but why didn't you tell them you weren't well? I'm like, so I just said that, do I? Do you know?
It's really interesting because I've talked quite a lot to my mum about this, because we've got 7 siblings. We've all got very different relationships with each other. So we've got my dad's got 6 of us. My mum's got 3 of us overlapping, if that makes sense. So me and one of my sisters grew up together, living under the same roof. So we've got that kind of relationship where we can't remember a time where we didn't have each other. Then my littlest sister, who's only 13, I've never lived with her, whereas my other sister did live with her when she was a baby. And also my sister Chloe, who's my full sister, she's very much like she even though she's 32, she acts like she's 19, and she's like seen as the cool one. And I'm the uncool one. So B, my 13-year-old sister, has got a different relationship with her, because she sees her as being really cool and like, oh, we could go clubbing together, whereas I'm more like a mother figure to be. And then one of my brothers lived with me for about 3 years. So again, I've got a different relationship to him to what my other sisters have got with him. So there's all these different family dynamics based on like what our relationships are, what our personalities are like the ages, our parents, and it's quite interesting to see. And we've just had our new sister come into our life. So I can't remember if I've talked about that on here. I think I have. She's 10 years younger than me, but she fits in like a glove so perfectly. And again, we're all finding out what those relationships look like as well.
I think what's really important to say as well is that I only discovered this not like recently, but probably in the last couple of years. No two siblings have had the same parents.
No.
That part, 100%.
We think like my sister and I have had the same upbringing. We were born in the same house. We went to the same school. We had similar friendship groups, all those different things. But I only discovered this a few years ago that actually we haven't had the same parents. We have had completely different experiences of our childhoods, etc., etc. And, you know, interestingly, you say there, Vic, about no anger. I think there are still some levels of anger in me that are, and probably more so at the moment, because my dad is relying on me so much more emotionally than ever before. And that's a lot of weight to carry that was like, I didn't ask for that weight to carry. So I think it's about navigating. And could I maybe just say that I see so many women and hear so many women, and I'm sure it's not just women, but obviously that's predominantly who I speak to, and it is my client base. And there is so much expectation on not just, I mean, we're talking about Christmas today, but expectations of how we should be, how we should feel, and all these different things. And I just say to my, like, feel it all. If you feel anger, if you feel disappointment, if you feel rage, if you feel you've been put upon, if you feel the weight of it, feel it all and allow yourself to feel it and allow yourself to process it. Because I think that's half the problem with Christmas, is that people feel guilt and shame for actually having this level of open conversation. Like, I shouldn't feel like an obligation because my parents are elderly, and what if they're not here next year? Well, you know what? That's life.
Yeah. No, and you know what? So it's like when it came to the emotion, it was never about Christmas or anything. It was never time specific for me. I think it was just, I was like, you know, I'm just wasting my time on this person that it may not even realize it's a thing. And it was a huge thing for me. But to be honest with you, I was very hell bent on, I don't want to regret the time I spent with my parents. And I was very particular about that. Does that mean that they get on my nerves sometimes? Yeah. But also I did, you know, whether you get on with a parent or not, there is a connection there. There is a cord there that you can never get rid of. And I think as an adult, you have to decide what sort of relationship you want. And even sometimes when it's imposed, so somebody I know, somebody I know and admire very much, recently lost his mum, and he adored this woman, adored her. And he recently had both parents living at home and in his home. And every morning he'd wake up and he would dance with them. He would play music with them. He'd let his mum make a fuss over him. And he's not an only child. He's got other siblings as well. But I always used to send him a message, and I was like, your blessings are far more beyond than you can ever possibly imagine, because I believe that it is a world blessing to look after your parents. And I said that every single time. I was like, I promise you. And he wasn't struggling or anything. He's very successful, but I was like, your blessings, you don't even know what your blessings are going to look like for just showing up for your parents every day, you know. And it's not why we do it, but I wanted to acknowledge it to him that it is such a great honor, because whilst it can be mind-blowingly, like you say, Naomi, you know, stressful and it's a thankless task and stuff, because you like, that's all you can think of. You wake up in the morning. But one thing that I have, I remember years ago, I used to get severe anxiety if my mum called me or she didn't answer the phone and stuff. And my mum turned around to me one day and she was like, what's the worst thing that can happen? She goes, even if I died tomorrow, is it the worst thing that's happened? And I remember her going, I was like, do you know what? So I started putting my phone on mute and stuff, and not needing to listen to every single call that came through. And I'm a lot more relaxed about my parents and life. But I also realized that I choose to look after my mum, and And even when she drives me nuts, I said to her the other day, I said, I think God is punishing me for not having children, and he's giving me you as a child. I said, because I'm telling you, Mother. And she was laughing her head off. I was like, seriously? I was like, at 80 years old, you should know better. She was like, yeah, but you know, I'm yours. I'm like, yeah, you got 6 other kids as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, but my point is that it's like, it's an honor to look after parents. But I also believe that you only get one life, and you should choose what makes you happy, whether it's to the detriment of other people's emotions or not. It shouldn't really matter. I think there comes a time when you can say, do you know what, I've done my bit, and now this is my time, and I deserve that, without any guilt. And I think people need to stop making Christmas is that whole thing where emotions after Christmas, and you know, it's like no, like let's do better and encompass the whole year. So
I'm so with you.
Yeah, we've talked about emotions. We're going into the new year, and next week we're going to be talking about we're gonna have done a year of the panel, which I cannot believe we've done that. Consistency is definitely not my middle name. And stuff. It's just not. But I have to make an effort to get things moving. But you know, as we go into the new year, what have been key lessons for you for this year? Because for me, I think I've had a fairly, touch wood, good year compared to the year before. The year before, I didn't even know if I'd have a business and stuff. And but yeah, so Naomi, what does 2026 look like for you? Sorry, what are the lessons first, and then we'll go to what does it hold for you?
Lessons. Listen to my gut.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
She always laughs at me too, Naomi. You are not alone.
It's only because the answer you were saying and stuff was very similar to kind of the answer I thought you were going to say and stuff, but just in a different language. So yeah.
What did you think I was going to say?
I think you were going to say something about people not keeping the word and stuff, and sort of like. And
I guess that's what it kind of ties into.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe listen to my gut is not the right. Maybe that was the initial thing I thought. Actually, trust myself.
Right.
So I have built trust with myself over the last couple of years that I never, ever, ever had before.
Mm.
And I feel like this year the universe has tested me to see how much that trust, how much I am really trusting in myself. So, and I guess I see that and feel that as gut, but actually it's trust. So I think for me this year, it has been refining that trust relationship with myself and walking away from things this year, people, environment, spaces, agreement. I say agreements, like not as in me backing out of them, but as in just letting them go. Like investments, fine. You know what? They can just go. So this year has definitely been a year for me of letting go. And yeah, so letting go, trusting myself. I mean, there's God, if you ask me like my lessons this year, we'll be here for a week. There's just it has probably, I think it has been my biggest year of growth, professional and personal and spiritual and everything. And it was only when I was typing that post this morning of like just the speaking events this year, and I was like, my God, like I keep forgetting how much I've achieved, done, accomplished. And I actually had a little tear about that this morning, like just feeling really freaking proud. And I don't care if anybody thinks that's egotistical, me saying that. I actually felt really proud of myself this morning. So I think there's been so many lessons this year. It's been a huge one for me.
That's amazing. You have done a lot and stuff, but I always think you do a lot and what have you. So it's like, but I've been watching you, Naomi, for about 3 or 4 years and stuff, and it's and I've seen you grow, and I've always believed that you stand out in what you do. So for me, none of that comes as a surprise, but it's really nice to see. It's almost like you've walked into yourself. It's like you walk into yourself and you go, oh, these are my hands and this is my neck and this is my head and oh, it fits and stuff and this is me. And it looks good. It looks good on you. It looks good on you watching you and stuff, for sure. You're welcome. And Rochelle, what about you? What are your lessons?
Well, I think like leading on from what Naomi was saying, like it's easy to forget how far you've come. And like for me and you, Victoria, like we both had quite a bad year last year. And then this year has been really good, but then at the same time, I've not been where I want to be. So I've struggled to feel that gratitude to how far I have actually come. So next year, I'm expecting big things from next year, which I think sometimes feels a little bit like I'm putting pressure on the year. But this year, I called it the year of momentum, and I feel like I've definitely built that momentum in every aspect of the business. I've moved it forward, ready for next year to be an even better, bigger year. I've spent way too much money on, as always, on memberships and masterminds and everything. So next year I'm going to keep that money for myself. I've already paid for things that I'll get next year, so I can still be part of communities without having to invest loads of money. So hopefully I'll start to see some of the profit build up instead of just going, oh, I've made some money, now I'm going to give that money to somebody else, which I think from talking to a lot of people in the industry, it's become very much that way, where so many people are looking for the next quick fix. I think me and you were talking about this yesterday, weren't we, Victoria? Like people are looking for that missing piece to fill that to fulfill them, and actually it's not in a sales training or it's not in a mastermind or anything like that. And having that realization, knowing that I've got the knowledge, I just need to do the implementation and move forward. And my plans for next year, I'm excited, I'm looking forward to them, I'm feeling optimistic about it, and learning from I've done lots of self-sabotaging this year, sort of like everything's going really well and then I just stop doing the stuff that's going really well, and like just forget to make sales, forget I'm supposed to follow up with people. And that is like, I'm hoping having my new VA working for me, that's going to take a lot of pressure off that side of things and free me up so that I can actually make some more sales and help more.
But you know what? So I think you've done really well. And again, super proud of, like, I just remember, oh my God, I just remember us just sat on, just looking at each other through Zoom or whatever, way of communication we're doing and stuff, and just going, what is going on? Like, we weren't making the sales and you'd lost a huge amount of money to some scam and stuff. Like, it was just dire last year. Like, I literally I didn't know. I remember sitting down on in December last year thinking, I can't believe you're not closing your business down. Like, I can't believe you've not uttered the words close the business down. And I'm like, what? Where are you going? Like, what are you walking into? Because I had no plans. No, that's a lie. By November last year, I'd written a plan, because I was like, this is my plan for next year and stuff and blah blah. Changed a lot moving forward, but I did have a plan. But yeah, I was very surprised that I even had the audacity to plan when nothing was happening. It was embarrassing. It was uncomfortable. But I tell you what, though, you also get to know who your friends are. You also get to know the people that stand by you. You get to, and here's what I'm going to say to people is that when somebody's going through that, just have patience. It doesn't what's the word? It's not an indication of somebody's ability if they're having a bad year. And I think sometimes, especially in the online world, that can be very unforgiving, because I'm that person where I don't know how to lie. So if you say to me, how's business, I'll be like, oh, not that great. No, not that great. And if it is great, I'm like, it's great and stuff. So I don't know how to lie, I don't know how to pretend. So I'm very transparent in most cases. And you can see people almost edging away, going, "Oh, you know," because I don't know. Maybe it's just my perception, but it felt like that in some cases and stuff. So I always say to people, be patient, be patient, be patient. For me, what's this year taught me? This year has taught me that if you keep going, the results will show. That you have to keep that if you keep going without expecting. Sometimes I think we expect too much too soon, and it's a bit like weight. When you lose weight too soon, you're going to put it on too soon. So it's like sometimes you need to nurture, like your body needs to get used to being successful, to build, to pivot. And the most successful people who have done it and have got longevity have done it gradually. They've not just sprouted from nowhere. And I've learned, it's not learned, but just acknowledged that just being patient with myself has really, really paid off. And I'm being patient with myself in a way where I've focused on the result I want rather than the activity I want to do. So one thing I was going to say to Rochelle as well is that you need to give yourself the leeway that you're a mum of two. You're running two businesses, you're looking after people. There's only so much you can do. And there are times when I've gone to bed and not posted, and I'm like, is that going to change the trajectory of, like, if that's the one post that's going to change the trajectory of your business, so be it. Like you can't be everywhere all the time. And being able to pay for a VA, I think, is just a huge honor to be able to do that, because it's like, wow, I can get things done. And I'm not going to say more about this, but last night or yesterday evening, something major happened that made me, I'd kind of forgotten my earning potential in this industry. And yeah, and big things are happening. Massive, like huge is all I can say. Huge. But also it's made, like, I slept last night, but I think I messaged Rochelle about 10 o'clock when I'm wired up. Like I'm wired up. Like there's so much going through my head. And it's a different dynamic, but it's still doing what I love to do. But yeah, it's something landed on my table yesterday that has just completely transformed everything. And it's shown me that I play small sometimes. Like I play small because I just want to fit in. And it's like, I'm a badass at what I do. I had a meeting yesterday that had some very senior people go, bloody hell. I actually got a call from someone going, that was nuts what you just did. And I'm like, I am good at what I do, and maybe delving into the dynamics of business is taking longer, but I'm sure at what I do. And as a result, guess what? I get rewarded for that. So that's 2025 for me.
Amazing.
I know.
Excited.
So any what's the word? I feel like we're ending this sort of like quite abruptly, but I don't want it to be abrupt. But what are you looking forward to for 2026? Like, what's that one thing that you think 2026? This is where we're going, Rochelle.
One thing's hard.
One.
I think the one thing that's going to change my business dynamics massively is I'm launching a property training course for business owners who are looking to invest the profit into property, and that gives me the ability to impact more people, because at the moment in the property business I'm only able to take on around 12 properties, which might mean if some of those people have a couple of properties each, so I might only be actually helping 6 or 7 people, and I want to be able to impact more people and bring more good quality properties onto the market. So if I'm teaching other people how to do that, that's going to have a massive impact on the country, but also on my business and where I'm going. So I think that's the the most exciting thing that I'm looking forward to doing. But then I've also got things like I'm speaking on the stage at the big festoon in the arena. I'm planning on launching a podcast. I feel like next year is probably the year, maybe towards the back end of the year, that I do a book. So I feel like it's going to be next year's about being really, really visible, even more visible than what I've been in the past.
Amazing. I love that. You need to tell me about the podcast. How come I don't know about the podcast? I'm not even going to say a word and stuff. I'm not saying a word. I'm not. Are you hiring someone to do your podcast, Rochelle?
Am I hiring someone? I'm not sure. So I want to at least hire a room like what we did for when we did the thing for you. So like it's in a proper place. I don't know. I want to do 12 episodes to start off with, not do it and record them all in like one batch or like over a couple of days rather than doing it regularly, because I'm not very good at that. Last time I launched a podcast, I did 2 episodes and then I just didn't do another one, and I don't want to do that again. So I'm like, right, let's batch create the 12, put them out, and then if I've enjoyed it, I'll do it again.
Yeah, I hear you. What about you, Naomi?
Well, I'm still mapping out my 2026, but I have one word that I'm going to share with you and a couple of words that are just in there in my little, and one of my words for 2026 is space.
Ooh.
Not that I'm going to space.
Oh,
sorry. I am creating space in my business, in my personal life, in my communities. Space is my word. If we look at, like I said, like all the events I've been to this year, everywhere I've spoken at, all these different things, it's been incredible. It's been amazing, very, very visible. And don't get me wrong, there will absolutely be things in 2026. I'm not going to be a hermit and stay indoors for 365 days, but I am going to be I've started already turning down things for next year, being incredibly intentional to create space for this chapter of my life.
I love that. See, I did a bit of that this year. I went into this year saying I wasn't going to attend a lot of events, and I'm surprised that I actually held on to that, because there've been some that have been quite tempting where you get a bit of FOMO and go, oh, I want to go there. And I'm like, no. Even last night, or the early hours this morning, I got a message going, we missed you. I was like, but I hope you had fun. And so without having to feel as if I have to be everywhere all the time. We're talking about this as well, Rochelle, weren't we? Like, it's like, I was like, I used to feel as if the opportunities wouldn't come if I didn't go to events, but actually, if you've created enough momentum for your visibility, people will remember you if it's meant to come to you and stuff. So it's like, I don't need to. But it's also allowed me to take a step back and just watch what's going on and go, actually, I really don't want to be part of that. or I want to be part of that, but selectively.
Yeah. I think what's been interesting for me is I've actually attended more events over September, October, November than I probably ever have done before, and what I've loved about it is I met some people at the beginning of October that I'd never met before, and by the end of October I'd met them like 5 times and built really good relationships, and I love that. Like, I do love being around people, but I do struggle to get the balance between I need to have time at home, I need to have time when I'm at all these events. I've not had much time for the business, and I've definitely felt the knock-on effect, but I've got some really good quality like people that I'm speaking to about investing in property, which I wouldn't have got if I'd not been meeting them in person. But one of the realizations I've had, I think there's some things that you kind of outgrow when you've done them so much, and like I've been to so many like of these multi-speaker events, and I like when I first started going, so the first one was EA with Stephen Bartlett, and I absolutely loved it, and I sat there and I watched every single speaker and I took so much away from it. But then after like 3 or so years of going to those kind of events, it starts to get a bit, you feel like, I've seen this, I've not seen that speaker, or sometimes you haven't seen that speaker, and it feels very much the same. So I think similar to networking events, I stopped going to property networking events because they were all very much the same. So I'd only go to a property networking event if I was speaking, and I think that's going to become the thing for maybe not next year, or not at the beginning of next year, but when I'm going to these events, it's going to be because I'm speaking at them and not just as a guest in the audience, because I know so much already. I'm not saying I know everything. There's always so much more to learn, but I need to focus on that implementation rather than taking on new ideas. And like, you know what it's like with the ADHD kind of brain, where you're like, oh, I want to do this and I'm going to do that, and then you end up doing nothing.
So for me, next year, it's all about community. I really want to grow community. I want to grow. I've got an idea for a community for myself, as in what community I want to be part of. And then I really want to grow my community. I get frustrated when I see communities being run in a certain way where I go, what the hell? Mm-hmm. And I believe that the only way to make it better is to create your own and run it the way it should be run. And also be held accountable when you fail. You know what I mean? Like, and learn from that as well. So, because the thing is that I can turn around and criticize people and say, oh, well, you didn't run your community well. But the truth of the matter is, and so it's like, I'm sure that person, when they created a community, didn't think, oh, I'm going to mess up or be unintegral or whatever it is in this space. So, but yeah, I in my mind, I really want to grow a community, for sure. There's a lot of things that I want to create, but you know, there's stuff that I've been working, especially like around the messaging side of things. I've been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And every weekend I go, I got it.
Every week.
I got it. I got it. Literally every week and stuff. And it's funny because I've not changed too much recently, and I feel like, and I'm like, okay, just slow down. So I've made a decision not to change any of my handles, only because and stuff. It's like I just get stuck with it, and it gets very frustrating. So, and I keep thinking, should I work with someone? But deep down, I'm like, I don't know if somebody can help me. And there's a couple of people that I can think of, but I don't know what they'd produce. So for me, I'm like, if I create a community, then I can speak to them and speak with them and grow that and close that gap. But most importantly, create a space where people need what I or want what I've got, and create a space. And I'm cheating, live events as well, because I started live events this year. We're doing one next year. I really want to be in a space where I'm doing more live events than in online. And I don't want to just be on the online space. I find that it's like a universe. It's a universe of its own. And I don't care much for it. I feel like it's very unrealistic. And I want to meet real people. I just want to meet real people, and people who could use with my help, rather than people who think they need my help but don't. There you go. Well, we'll see you next week.
What a great conversation, as always. I will be here next week. What are we talking about next week? It's our penultimate, isn't it?
It is our penultimate. Rochelle, are you not here next week?
No, do you not remember telling you?
No, that's why we're doing the week after as well, because Rochelle couldn't do that next week. So our Christmas one is the week
whinging.
after.
I just thought she was just whinging about not.
I think she was just whinging, but I did listen to her whinges.
Oh God. Okay. So next week, what we're talking about. So I'd like to talk about our anniversary, like a year, but I guess it'd be really good. It'd be silly to do it without Rochelle here. So we'll do that on the 17th. So next week we'll come up with a topic. What do you think? What do you think we should talk about, Naomi? Put you on the spot.
You have just put me on the spot, and I'm trying to think. I actually have it written down what we were talking about last week, because I was so organised. I've written them all down.
No, but we didn't have anything for. So the 10th was meant to be the anniversary.
No, I think I might be wrong, but I thought that because of that, we had actually changed it. So hold on, let me have a quick look. Hold on. I thought that we'd already come up with something for the 10th. So yeah. Okay.
The suspense.
Your experiences of the panel and what topics will be. Oh, okay. All right. So what should we talk about?
That'll be the week after.
What should we talk about next week? Okay, so listen, we actually didn't. We just briefly talked about next year, but why don't we talk about a bit more about next year? And I'll tell you why. Because so many people wait until January the 1st or January the 6th to start their year. I've already started my goals for next year.
Yes.
Now, why don't we talk about that a bit more next week?
Sounds good. And if you want to go to somewhere where you can go and plan your year, I've got an event on the 29th of January called Command Your Year. And we're not just going to be planning what your year looks like. We're going to be looking at the emotions that hold you back, what's keeping you stuck, and all that other stuff. So instead of just looking at strategy, we're going to be looking at strategy with soul. So if you want to know more, let me know. I'll send you the details. There you go. Sorted.
Sold.
We will see you next week. Take care. See you later. Bye.